There are not as many things as you might think that separate us from people like Andrew Carnegie and J.P. Morgan, to Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. Yet each of these names left a lasting impact on our society. They changed things for the better and improved the overall quality of life for the masses that they served. They simply saw the need for something to exist and fought for it. For doing this, they all became very wealthy men. But this is the way the system was designed to work. The reason that things like railroads and internet are so transformational in our society is that they connect people. And in a way, one person's idea carried out was not only able to help the one person shopping in a general store, but now with a train ticket or airfare and a few keystrokes, suddenly a few people were able to benefit it 300 million people, and this is what Steve Jobs liked to call amplifying human ability. Could you imagine a world without steel, electricity, banking, and computers for the home user? Literally, the work of 4 men can be attributed to the fact that we're still not nomads today. The beauty of entrepreneurialism in a free country, however, is that if it hadn't been one of those 4 men, it would have been 4 others. Now the question becomes very clear and simple. Why can't you become one of those 4 men? Of course, you don't have to own 5% of the world's wealth to be considered or consider yourself an entrepreneur. All you have to do is create something that others value. It doesn't have to be a way for you to put a safe nuclear reactor in every home, although wouldn't it be cool if you could? It could be as simple as a new shower head, but your shower head is simply the best the world has ever seen. It uses just 5 droplets of water in an hour and makes you sparkle after being pampered and indulged with its 18 massaging attachments, and it comes in whatever colors and look that you want. And as an added bonus, it comes shaped like your favorite dinosaur. And you decide that this God's gift to bathers is worth $2.99 a download, and so did a million others who have downloaded it and use it in their homes. Now you should be able to see how raising the standard of living for others vastly increases your standards as well. The only thing that you have to do is see something like an object in your mind, design it, and let Toybox help you find your million people. The 3D printer is the next evolution of technology. It embodies the physical hands of the computer, making it the next logical step and extension of the digital world, the digital to physical device. Because this is now possible, it means that we are on completely uncharted territory. The abilities that were only available to our forefathers who became wildly successful because they could leverage their resources can now be in the hands of the average person with a couple of ideas in their minds. This amplification of human ability is going to ensure not only higher quality products at the lowest possible prices, designed by a quickly adjusting market, since everyone becomes their own company. The number of new inventions will literally explode, and exponentially more needs will be met. Just as Henry Ford decided not to make his automobile for the rich, but for the masses, he knew intrinsically that if he could benefit everyone, the availability of the technology would improve this world. That is the entrepreneurial spirit. Toybox, in a sense, is bigger than the automobile because it's the framework that is going to allow everyone to become their own Ford with no risk involved. That is why Toybox is so needed right now, especially in this economy. We have to pioneer the rules and structure of how this new world is going to operate and how we can make sure that everyone understands the concept, has access to the technology, and receives the economic benefits. This is how Toybox is adding insurmountable values to the lives of others. Toybox is also about the growth of the technology. We're going to be around for a long time, so we need to make sure that we will consistently and constantly be improving the processes. Many people familiar with the digital to physical machines understand that home-use printers take a plastic filament and print objects by breaking the item up digitally into millions of cross-sections in much the same way that medical imaging devices you may be familiar with, like MRI machines, do. Then, using the same sort of incredible technology, the printer traces each layer like a hot glue gun until the object builds itself literally from the ground up. Each object is essentially a program interpreted from the same ones and zeros that make your computer run. The printer just takes that code and uses motors and raw material to turn the object from a computer design file into something real. It's kind of like the Matrix is literally coming out of the screen into the real world, and we see the future possibilities of this as virtually endless. Since the objects are printed from files, means that the files can be sent over the internet, and in a very real sense, this is the closest thing that man has come to real teleportation. Toybox is creating a market for this, but the difference between objects that start in the real world and objects that start in your mind is the idea of making things instantaneous. The beauty of starting in the digital world, however, is that anything can be changed and customized instantly. There is no shipping or big manufacturing costs associated with producing a prototype. In the digital to physical world, we call it rapid prototyping. Once Toybox has created the infrastructure for the 3D movement to take flight, we are left with nothing but light years of room for improvement. The 3D printers of today are tomorrow's dinosaurs. And this being said, we want printers that can print in more colors and higher resolution with more materials and larger maximum print size for lower prices. We need printers that can print food, medicine, organs, wood, metal, glass, ceramic, clay, and all building materials, organic or not. We want printers capable of printing your own customizable automobiles, aircraft, clothes, spacecraft, and entire homes. There is no doubt that this will happen. It is going to happen within our lifetimes. This much is guaranteed. But it all starts with a thought in your mind. Still, with as easy as this is, many will still say that this requires too much smarts or too much patience and too much time. Yet, with a few hours of real study, you will be able to create world-class marketable products. I can't convince you that if your ideas are worth $1 million to pursue them. So I'm going to let an old president do the talking for me. Calvin Coolidge was a man of few words, and when he spoke, it would serve one well to listen. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan "Press On" has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. We want you to digest this information for a few minutes before continuing on with the spirit of entrepreneurialism and how it alone will save our country. We'll be here when you're ready.